in. As always, request me. You guys hit the like button. I'll be much obliged if you did so. So let's talk about it, man. Coach Prime is a lock to go to Texas A&M. Psych, I lied. No. Coach Prime is not going to no god doggone Texas A&M. And listen, man, I'm going to lay out why. Now, usually, I keep it sucker free on this channel. I go straight up and down about, my takes and my viewpoints. But let's see what the algorithm monster does on this one. But no. Listen, Texas A&M University is a school that has deep pockets. They're a school that is, deeply laced in the oil and gas industry, deeply laced in, politics, law, all those things encompassing. So if because the school I went to, Prairie View A&M, is in the Texas A&M system. All things being equal, my school should be as big as Texas A&M, but that's a whole nother video for another day. Because the same land grant, my school, Prairie View A&M, which is about 30 minutes away from Texas A&M, should have the same things. But let's keep it locked on what we're talking about. Politics. Yeah, for sure. So, with that being said, you hit the like button. So we 10 deep. Everybody came in quick. So, here's why this does not make sense at all. Texas A&M again, deep pockets, southern roots. Listen, Deion Sanders is a Florida boy. So those things on inception match. But listen, his two kids, Shiloh and Shedeur, cannot transfer to Texas A&M. Meaning, no matter how deep those pockets are, you cannot go. You can have your progeny, which is your kids, to follow you. And listen, if you guys are dumb, deaf, or blind, you know that Coach Prime is mostly about his kids, which any father should be. You're not gonna leave your kids out to dry out there in Colorado. No, I mean Shiloh has transferred 3 times already. He's done transferring. I think it's a year moratorium for you to transfer again. So Shedeur can't transfer either. No, you're not gonna get a chance to transfer over there. So being the guy I've observed Deion to be for the years of watching him coach, this is what, year 4? No, he's not going to transfer. Secondly, he has a good thing going in Colorado, man. You have carte blanche to do what the hell you want to do in Colorado. And so what point does it make, or what sense does it make, rather, for you to go to Texas A&M? Listen, man, Texas A&M get rid of guys quick. Let us count the ways. I mean, we can go back to R.C. Slocum. I think he was there about 4 or 5 years. Y'all encourage me to chat. But then your boy Kevin Sumlin, he had great success with Johnny Manziel. And then once that well dried up, guess what? They got rid of his ass. You see Jimbo Fisher with 4 years, he had a winning record. I'm just saying, I'm not saying Jimbo Fisher had a great career. He had a winning record as a coach. 4 years, you're out of here, buddy. So why would Prime leave a situation where the expectation is winning when this school has not won they've not won a championship since 1939? Come on now, we talking about before Bear Bryant. Texas A&M, listen, man, a lot of accolade. Listen, I'm a University of Texas fan, so I give A&M proper credit for being, a school with deep pockets, a school with major tradition. They came up with that 12th man thing that the Seattle Seahawks use as well. But there's no funny. Somebody just called from Bryan, Texas. Bryan is the adjacent city from College Station where Texas A&M is. So, so somebody may be a little mad. And shout out to Bartran. He says Prime leaving. No, so it's a rumor. So again, I'm coming in with the clickbait, as it were, because that's not normally what I do over here. But I'm just playing with the algorithm a little bit. But I want to talk about why it just makes no sense that Prime would send his kids over there. It just makes no sense. Coach Prime has literally shown you that he's all about his kids, which is, listen, as a father, you should be. And I don't understand why people are mad at that. Um, I know I don't understand why people are mad at nepotism. You're supposed to put your kids in the best position that they can be in to succeed. Look at the DuPont family. Look at the Hilton family. Look at the Rothschilds family. Like that's what you do. You put your kids in position to succeed. Oh, by the way, the Ball family. So you put your kids in position to succeed. And it's funny, just like amongst a certain fold of individuals, you think that's a bad thing. No, it's an awesome thing. So going forward, listen, man, Texas A&M, they want excellence because their boosters put money into their program. And they've been getting 5 stars out the ASS. One of my high school classmates, he has a son that plays at A&M. He plays offensive line, I believe. Big old kid. His dad's name is Samu. He has like a not Hawaiian, but what do you call it? A Samoan last name. It starts with a T. I can't. It's like Tapatatutu or some shit like that. But I saw like what A&M is trying to build, and A&M is building a good thing, man. Listen, man, I'm a big proponent for the NIL process. In the NIL process, like, I'm good with kids getting paid because if you're using their likeness, and your boy Hoop Jargon been on what about 3 or 4 video games, and not saying my likeness was the driving force of the game. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is, I can't go out and just sell my Prairie View jersey. I can't go out and have a dinner with somebody who wants to talk to a basketball player. And shout out to Rick Majerus, and rest in peace to Rick Majerus. He got hemmed up for taking a player on a dinner. So this is what college sports used to be, and now where we are right now, where you basically can pay for players. But it's always been happening. Look at your boy Reggie Bush. Look at Cam Newton. It's always been happening. But now it's like on the forefront, which is a good thing. Like, because if we're gonna be honest, collegiate sports is like, it's professional. It just is. So, with all that being said, Texas A&M wants excellence. And if it was up to Texas A&M to get Coach Prime, oh yeah, for sure. They breaking the bank for Coach Prime. But what I'm saying, logistically speaking, it makes no sense. He's not going to uproot. Well, his surrogate son, Travis Hunter, he's not going to compromise his eligibility as well. So none of the lines align. There's no reason that he would compromise Shiloh, Shedeur, and Travis. He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. And his daughter, Shalomi, playing for the basketball team in Colorado, I think she's sitting out because she transferred as a walk-on. He's not going to uproot his family for Texas A&M. Sorry, not happening. So what about his kids? They out of transfers unless... Exactly. That's my whole point. He's not going to uproot his kids because right, wrong, and indifferent, Prime is always showing you that he's all about his kids. He's all about... So some people say, oh, well, like Jason Whitlock, for example. I like Jason Whitlock, but he be on some bullshit too. And his takes lately have been horrible. So Jason Whitlock is on this kick that, Prime is just doing it because of Shedeur. He's only doing it because of, his selfishness. And in my opinion, if you're doing the best for your kids, good for you. You're a good father. And his son, Deion Jr., a.k.a. Bucky, runs his social media platform. Good for you, man. If you got 4 of your kids actively in your program, actively, in the college scene, good for you. Because that's what any man, that's how you should preside over your progeny. You should have your kids in position to succeed. It's not necessarily about the money. It's about just you paving out a career path. You paving out, a situation where you have a purpose in life. And that's the problem with a lot of people, man. People don't think purpose driven. It's more like situational driven. And how can you get to a point where you are successful, where you're wealthy, where you're rich, and you don't ever consider the fact that all that stuff trickles down? Get these comments real quick. One Mind Media says, what about the kids? They got to transfer. Yeah, okay, you said that. Shout out to Franklin Kuntz says, what up, bro, man? What up back, bro? But Jake Brown says, respect, man. We appreciate the new, fresh topics, man. Hoop jargon, salute. Brothers and sisters in the chat. Chief Bartran. Absolutely, man. Because listen, man. People want what they want out of these guys. Y'all hit the like button. Out of these public figures. But they have a real life to live. So, in a real life to live, again, guys like Jaden Whitlock would say, oh, well, Colorado is a disaster, and I told y'all. But on the underbelly of it, Colorado has won 4 games. Last year they won 1 game. And going forward, dude, everybody, so I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. And part of the whole allure is that people care enough to hate on you. So in that program in Colorado, every game has been sold out. So not only did they, maximize on the return as far as wins are concerned, but then they maximize on the whole thing of everybody cares about Colorado. Listen, man, hate and love belong in the same basket. That's a bar. Y'all take that. Hate and love belong in the same basket. So that people care enough to hate on the program. He did his job. But shout out to Gail tonight. Got the look in eyes in. Good to see you, Gail. Chakra King, peace family. Yeah, for sure. So, again, hit the like button. So what I'm saying ultimately is, what Coach Prime is doing from a year one perspective, this is expectation. You don't turn a program around to be an instant winner. And that's why I hate when people like Shady McCoy, Joy Taylor. I got to say it. Listen, I'm a Coach Prime supporter, but y'all set Prime up for this scrutiny. Because y'all were talking about, they're going to win 10, 11 games. Nobody does that year one. It does not happen. It does not exist. You got to let a guy build a program. So going back to what I'm saying, your boy Jimbo Fisher, he's had 4 years at Texas A&M. So they decided after 4 years, okay, we're going to part ways after a big victory against Ole Miss. They beat the brakes off Ole Miss. But it's like we didn't put all this money into these NILs for you to just be kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Treading water as far as being a upper tier SEC team. We're putting money in for you to be elite at the SEC level. And that's why Texas A&M backers are mad. So that's why you get rid of a coach, who's like 45-22 or something like that with his record, because you want a different level of success, right? So going forward to Prime. Prime has given, well, let me do this real quick. Since we're going slow right now, I'm in traffic. I commute from Los Angeles County to Orange County every day. So this is a little pocket where it's slow. So let me read these comments why it's slow. Shaq says, facts. Yeah, man, it is what it is. Shout out to my boy Third Ward Colombian, my fellow Houston homie. He says, damn deal. It's official, just sports talking rumors. Yeah, exactly. So, and that's kind of my point. It's a rumor because Prime has to have time to actually put his tentacles into a program. And a lot of people, we live in a microwave society. You want You want instant results right away. So Prime came in, first 3 games won. And y'all like, oh man, let's keep it going. Again, Shady McCoy, Joy Taylor, and other media pundits were overblowing it. And I told y'all in moment, I was like, tap brakes. Y'all look at my community tab about 3 months ago. I said, okay, so when Colorado beat Colorado State, they came back from behind. I was like, great win, but watch what happens when they start losing, because they will start losing. Watch what happens when the media starts to flip on them. And that's what's happening. Because Jason Whitlock, all these videos he puts out, I gotta say it, that fat bastard, to quote Stephen A, because I say that because I like his conservative talking points when he makes sense. But he be on some clown shit too. So when Jason Whitlock got on some clown shit, you saw what it was. He had nothing to say when Colorado was 3-0. He had nothing to say. Then he started, calling Coach Prime a fake Christian. And listen, man, your boy Hoop Jargon is neutral. I grew up a Christian. I'm not a Christian anymore. I respect everybody and what their life paths are. But and if you know Jason Whitlock's story, he's kind of a new staunch Christian. So he has this, hierarchy system that he does with his words and with his, his commentary. And it's like, he's all of a sudden just a stark Christian when most of his life he's not been that. So I find that a little strange. But I'll land the plane here. So I see we 18 deep. Y'all hit the like button, man. I appreciate y'all pulling up on me, on a stream like this, because I think this is important. Coach Prime is building something at Colorado. Coach Prime will be just fine. Y'all put that on a t-shirt. Coach Prime will be just fine. But you're going to hear these prognostications like, oh, well, he's going to go to the Cowboys and coach. No, he's not. He said it implicitly. Now, let me walk you back a second. Coach Prime had gone back on some of the stuff he said. But I think overarchingly, he is who he is. We know what he's about. He's not going to go and restart something that's going to compromise his 2 sons and his surrogate son with Travis Hunter with their eligibility and their mentoring. No, he wants to be hands-on. And I got to say this too. Is Coach Prime perfect? No. Like, literally speaking, they lost to Arizona with some of his coaching errors, in my opinion. And the week before that, they lost, God dog, I forgot who they lost to. But him going for it on 4th down right before halftime, that cost him their football game. So I'm not one of these guys who support Coach Prime, but I'm just going to be oblivious to obvious mistakes. But I'm not going to be that guy who's going to sit here and shit on Prime either. Like, what he's doing is not extraordinary. We did at Jackson State is extraordinary, right? So, no, I ain't that guy. I'll never be that guy. So, in totality, no, he's not going to no doggone Texas A&M University. Now, could he surprise Hoop Jargon? Listen, I ain't behind no ink. I ain't behind no situation to say that I know things in totality. But what I am pretty good at, as a salesman, is learning people's tendencies. So learning Prime tendencies, he's locked into Colorado for at least the next 2 years. Because he's going to see his boys through, going to the professional ranks. Then after that, I give him another year. And I see him leaving about 2026. Coach Prime's out. Why is that? Because he's better than the program. He's better than Colorado. Just saying. Prime to Texas. Shout out to SKC channel member. Nah, so my whole bait-in was I kind of did the little, the Kansas City shuffle where I baited you in with the topic. But no, he's not leaving. He's not leaving. He'd be a fool to leave where he's at right now because he's a very posh situation. Coach Prime needs an offensive line, a defensive line. Everything else is fine. Because the run game, he has like 4 running backs deep with Hankerson, with Edwards, with your boy Savion Wilkinson, who's my boy. I love Savion Wilkinson. And there's another running back, I forget his name. But he has the backs. It's just the blocking is not intact. So once he gets that intact, the run game will be just fine. It'll be just fine. Third says H-Town. Yes, sir. You know Tommy, H-Town Ty Drown. Third, well, okay, yeah, I talked to you. So I land the plane there, man. Again, we 25 deep. I would appreciate if y'all make the likes match up with the views, but Coach Prime is not going anywhere. Fake news. Psych, I lied on the topic. But you guys understand the big picture. The big picture is, again, you inherited a program that was 1-11 last year. Now you're 4-5. You probably you play Utah and you play Washington State. I think Colorado wins the Washington State game because Washington State game is susceptible to L's. I think Utah is a stretch. But I had this team at 6 wins before the season started. Hoop Jargon told you that first. And they're probably going to win 6 games. And for the money, worth every dime. SKC says CJ Stroud. Oh, and also, you guys hit the Cash App if you like the content. HJ Streams, $ HJ Streams, or you can hit the Super Chat. I'm back monetized. You know, I had about a 2-month hiatus. Freaking YouTube, it is what it is. Let's see. CJ Stroud looks like the real deal. Yes, CJ Stroud looks very good. CJ Stroud is composed. He's putting up gaudy numbers, and he's winning. So yeah, for the Houston Texas fans out there, God bless y'all. You know, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, obviously, but yes, C.J. Stroud is a good quarterback, and Pierce is a good running back, and then all those other guys, you know, Otis, as it were. Ain't nobody came to see Otis. His receiving cast are doing a very good job. They're doing a very good job. Just saying. Shout out to SKC, tapped in with the Super Chat check, man. I appreciate that, brother. As Real says, nah, they'll lose against Utah. That Washington State game is a toss-up. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much what I said. Like, the Washington State game is a toss-up. Utah, still ranked. And quiet is kept. The Pac-12 is still one of the strongest conferences in their last year of existence, which is this year. So it's almost like it's a perfect case scenario if you're a hater or a detractor of Deion to kind of be very scrutinous, i.e. Jason Whitlock, because they're 1-5 in Pac-12 play. But if you've been in the Oregon game against USC, lost by 7, 6 points. Against Oregon State, lost by a touchdown. Now, the disappointing game was against Stanford, 29-0, and they lost that game. That shouldn't have happened. Beating Arizona State, the only win in the Pac-12. Like, this team is going to be good. If you guys watch film, Travis Hunter, it was a play last week where he basically guarded two defenders. It just shows that the talent level. Oh, and by the way, he plays offense too. Continuously getting 100-yard, gains on the offensive end. So, hey, man, Travis Hunter is a hog, man. It is what it is. Okay, it's work. Okay, bet. Oh, man. See, I just tried better than Dak Prescott already. Listen, man, Dak has his limits. But you can't say Dak Prescott's playing bad football right now. Dak Prescott's playing great football right now. I think Dak, getting that ankle broken, he didn't trust his feet anymore. And I think that the Cowboys, listen, man, one of the most scrutinizing positions in the world is to be the Dallas Cowboys quarterback, the starting pitcher for the Yankees, and the leading hitter for the Yankees. And then, what's another sport? Just throw in the mix. The best player for the Lakers. Those are going to be your four toughest, positions to be in professionally in sports. So, with that being said, in a tough position, being Dak Prescott. He took over Tony Romo. He's been, in situations where he's been heavily scrutinized. Which, listen, the first 4 games, I was damn near done on Dak, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. This comes from a guy who spent $300 of my hard-earned money on the authentic jersey when I used to live in Dallas, that I still have to this day. The authentic jersey for Dak Prescott. But I was like, I was almost out on this dude. But what Dak has done, I got to give him credit. He regrouped. He got himself together. And he's turned himself into, a multifaceted, i.e. a multi-threat quarterback. And that's what he's always been. So I'll give Dak credit, bro. So CJ Stroud, he doing his damn thing. But, I mean, what happens year 2? Because if we keep things in context, year 1, Dak Prescott was he had like one of the best rookie years ever, right? And people, who were Dallas Cowboy fans didn't want him they didn't want him taking Tony Romo's spot because Tony Romo got hurt, if you guys remember. But then once Dak started rolling, Jerry let him let him keep rolling. So I want people to keep things in context, but when people start to get a book on Dak, they start to learn his tendencies, things change. So CJ year 2, I want to see year 2 before I make a full assessment. Coach Prime is 4-5 with the 16th hardest schedule in the country. That's great. Absolutely. Deion should coach Ohio. That would be interesting. Ohio State or Ohio? Answer that for me. I heard Michigan is going to have 17 players headed to the draft next year. If they do that, that's excellent. Especially with the controversy with your coach and all that stuff, stealing signs, quote unquote. Yeah. 17 players going pro. That's excellent. Yes. Okay, SKC. Going to hear your thoughts about the Rocket streak. Listen, I'm going to put it on my community tab. I said October 8th, before the season started, I was like, because, listen, man, I'm a Houston kid. I don't like the Rockets at all no more. I'm done with them. But I said before the season started, like, the Rockets have a good team, and I don't like it. And so the Rockets have a damn good basketball team, man. Dylan Brooks is a godsend for y'all. Playing with Jalen Green and the rest of the cast, with Van Fleet. The Rockets are a good basketball team. In my opinion, it's the perfect mix of young and old. I got to get around this shit. I got to get to work. Get in the HOV lane. But it's the perfect mix of young and old. And then you bring in a coach like Ime Udoka, who obviously, is a younger coach, being a former player. And he has that bond with players that's going to make them better. So I always thought this whole time, like, yeah, it's a great union. OU coach, Ohio University, Harborough versus. You saying Ohio or Ohio State, Azriel? You gotta make that implicit because Ohio ain't doing shit. Ohio State is a whole different story. The Bills just fired OC Ken Dorsey. Damn, Ken Dorsey, the former quarterback for the great Miami Hurricanes. When they had your boy Portis, they had Willis McGahee, so on and so forth. Damn, Ken Dorsey. That's the name right there, man. He was a fringe quarterback for that team, but goddamn, you got all that talent around you. I think they had Phillip, cornerback, super fast cornerback on that team. Phillip, goddamn, I forget his last name. Yeah, uber talented team that Ken Dorsey was the quarterback of. Damn, Ken Dorsey, RIP. coaching wise. You think Kevin Porter's done? Yeah, for the time being, yeah. And guys, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the super chat. You know those are always open. You can become a member. Cause listen, man, on this channel, I'm gonna try to give y'all that raw, uncut dope, man. As far as sports content is concerned, I don't give y'all. I know I kind of clickbait you today, but I'm gonna give you real content evaluation. Cause I know a lot of sports channels, man. I'm gonna just be honest, they're trash. They don't serve you well of giving you real content and real evaluation, and I try to do that over here. Hopefully y'all like it. All right, so the Bills. Okay, I know it's a Rockets small ball lineup, fast. Give the Lakers problem. They face yeah, and like I told people, Dylan Brooks as an addition. Ah, great addition. Dylan Brooks is a damn good basketball player. Is he a great shooter? Hell no. Can't shoot his way out of a wet paper bag. However, basketball is comprised of more things than just shooting, man. It's everything. It's about positional awareness, spatial awareness, um, the intimidation factor. Cause I mean, I gotta say, Dylan Brooks a goofy bastard. Cause before the Lakers game, he was staring them. He was staring them down. I mean, but that goes with the whole thing, though, man. Like you be the heel, as it were, for my wrestling fans, or the bad guy. Play it all the way through, no problem. But you got to back it up with your performance, and Dylan Brooks does that night in, night out, defensively. So I got no problem with his antics, as long as you go out there and put the work in. And in my opinion, he does that. Vince Wilfork and Andre Johnson was on the team too, I think. Okay, yeah, for Texas, yeah. I'm sick of the sports media personalities making excuses for Josh Allen and Justin Herbert. They're talented. They're quarterbacks. Yeah, I mean, listen, man. I give any player about 4 to 5 years. After that, then I'm a pretty much give you a very stringent and ardent evaluation. Unless you show me like a big, glaring gap in your game, then I'll probably expedite that a little quicker. But yeah, listen, man. Josh Allen, University of Wyoming, big kid, and it's like he's Jekyll and Hyde, man. And he's been more. I don't know which one's a good one. He's been more Hyde than Jekyll. So I'm not mad at people, get on his ass. I ain't mad about it. Like so, another Jekyll and Hyde cat as of late it's been Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson has been like up and down. I'm hurt. I'm not hurt. I'm throwing interceptions. So it's funny evaluating NFL quarterbacks because it's a lot to look at. It's a lot to look at. All right, so I definitely believe that. Okay, you talking to SKC. As Real says, Justin Herbert is talented. There's nothing wrong with him. His head coach Staley and coach defense and Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack. You give up 41 points. Yeah. With I think you mean it is Joey Bosa. Nick Bosa plays for the 49ers. Yeah. So the Chargers have the pieces. And then you got Keenan Allen at a receiver. But defensively, yeah, you giving up those kind of points with that type of personnel, yeah. There's definitely a disconnect, to your point. Third says, Josh Allen reminds me of Jay Cutler. Big arm, talent at throwing the football, but never win. Yeah, hey. If you guys, when you get a chance, look up Jay Cutler playing basketball. Jay Cutler is an athlete. Jay Cutler's good at everything he's tried. Jay Cutler's good at everything he's tried. But Jay Cutler was a loser because he's not a leader of men. So when you're not a leader of men, guess what? You're going to have unfavorable results overall. So, and that's kind of what Justin Herbert is kind of showing. But again, he's only what 3 years, in as a pro. So I'm not gonna typecast him just yet. But he's definitely trending that way. And shout out to Gail says, have a great day, everyone. Yes, and shout out to Gail, man. But appreciate you pulling up, Gail. I'm about to moderate you up. That's what you do. You're damn good at it. Appreciate you, Gail, pulling up. Azrael says, Just Allen's problem is he throws too many passes into bad coverages and a great arm, but not the most accurate. Buffalo needs a running game to create play action to spread the ball. Yeah, I agree with that. Jay Cutler was talented, but he just wasn't a leader to galvanize. Exactly my point. So if you cannot galvanize, men, it's gonna be rough with you in that locker room, man. Because listen, man, you're talking to a guy who played Division I sports. I coached Division I sports. And I played professional overseas. Locker room management is a mofo. With you having the ability to tell people what to do, and listen, it's my word or it's nothing. That's a lot of rungs you have to climb as a leader, and everybody ain't got in them. Some people can talk like they got in them, but the walk, that walk gonna expose you real good. And from what I see from guys like Jared Allen, they ain't got it. Cause if you did have it, you know what will happen? Your teammates will speak volumes for you. That they put their chest out for you. So the fact that you don't, then you got guys like Diggs, making those comments he made off season. It kind of shows you your leadership. So Jay Cutler, who was a notorious throw guys on the bus guy, a notorious what's the word? Just a malcontent. Yeah. His career went where it went, but like to your point, Azrael, world-class athlete. Jay Cutler was a world-class athlete. Him and Tony Romo, look Tony Romo as well as being like just a basketball player. Great basketball player too. So Jay Cutler was that dude. If you look at his high school football stuff up, Jay Cutler was that dude. But that's one thing though. It's almost like being a super talented, person as far as, your vocation. But if you can't talk to people, what does that really mean? Because you can't lead people because your oration skills are poor. Your overall understanding of, people, interpersonal relationships are poor. So you basically can't galvanize people beyond your own ability. And that's what guys like that are. Shout out to my boy Brian Turner says he's not going to have room for slightest error at Texas A&M. Best of luck, though. Josh Allen, by the way, is Jay Cutler on steroids. He's even worse. That's funny. Say, I love Tony Romo. I'm not a Cowboys fan. You know what's funny? As a Cowboys fan, I hated Tony Romo. I hated Tony Romo. Now, I'll be 40 years old in about 4 days. In 4 days, I'll be 40. So I understand that my expectation for Romo was a little warped because of my lack of maturity. Because Tony Romo dealt with a lot of bad defenses. But Tony Romo also had a propensity to turn the ball over in in bad situations. So I guess in hindsight, watching him do his commentary, which he's excellent at, probably the best I've ever seen at doing sports commentary, because he can kind of tell you the play before the play happens based on his his deduction of what's going on. But it always rings the question. So if you're so good at that, why the fuck you couldn't do that when you played? Like, that's the goofy part about Tony Romo. But overall, having been a former player, I understand that sometimes, like in a moment, your mind goes 1,000 times a minute, and you just may not be able to discern properly in the proper moment. So let me say that Jay Cutler was talented, as Pat Mahomes, but couldn't be a leader. Absolutely. Absolutely. Great comparison. Jay Cutler has all the skills and ability that Pat Mahomes has. Believe that, take it to the bank. Absolutely. Same, similar size and all that. Yeah. Yeah. That's a great comment, Brian. If he had the Cowboys defense, they would definitely be deep in the playoffs. Probably so, because Cowboys defense now is actually a thing. Because back in the day, the Cowboys defense, man, with Church and that win. I mean, listen, man. Speaking of Texas A&M, that win was a warrior and all that. But when that win is your best defensive player, not named Roy Williams, you got. But yeah, Church, your Williams, we had some more guys just getting torched, just getting obliterated. I remember we lost the game to the Broncos when Peyton Manning went to the Broncos after his neck injury, and we lost like 55 to 53 or some 52 or something like that. It's just like no defense to be had, and we had got the team, but defensive lineman that Cabo trip before the playoffs. The fuck shit Tony Romo was on too. And being a guy approaching 40, if you don't have the proper counsel to tell you, you gotta put your hand on the hot grease. And oh shit, it's hot. Whereas with proper counsel, you tell them like, hey, don't you ever put your hand on that grease. It's hot, it's gonna burn you. So that's one of them things. Say Cowboys should have traded for Derrick Henry. Oh yeah, boy, Lord have mercy. If we got Derrick Henry, yeah. I love that. Remember I said Texas A&M months ago, you doubted. Prime not going there, he going Miami. Texas A&M months ago, you doubted. No, I'm not agreeing with that at all, actually. I'm saying that he's not going to Texas A&M. If you've been watching the stream, no, he's not going to Texas A&M. I did the little clickbait thing on y'all boys. Yeah, so Shiloh has graduated already from Jackson State. So, but I think you only get 2 transfers or something like that. So I don't think Shiloh can transfer anymore because he's transferred from FAU, he's transferred from Jackson State. So I think Shiloh's done, even though he's graduated. So no, I don't see it happening. He was going toe to toe with Peyton, but he threw that one interception that screwed the things up. Yeah, I agree with that. What does Bills lost last night to the Broncos and their 5-4 record tell about them and the organization? Yeah, because the Broncos stink. Russell Wilson stinks. And I'll tell you a very telling tale about that. If you notice, when Richard Sherman, I'm not saying he's the progenitor of all things Seattle related. He never speaks highly of Russell Wilson. Never. Marshawn Lynch talked about, on Vlad TV. Was it Vlad? No, Uncle Shay Shay show. He said how like Russell Wilson, he ain't fucking with him. So that leads me to believe that, obviously last year had a horrible year. This year, kind of a tottering year. And you got Sean Payton as your coach, right? It's a huge indictment on what Russell Wilson is. And what he is just a guy that benefited from a great defense and a great system. I think that's just bottom line. It's bottom line. A great defense, a great system got him to where he was. Okay, Bake. Media Studio says we shared your video live on Facebook just now. Man, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Southern fired Dooley. Yeah, Coach Dooley earned that firing, man. Like, you left Prairie View, which you should have stayed at, and you went to Southern. You know, expectations are different, and you're not produced. So he earned that firing for sure. Russell been playing better though. Okay, fair enough. But his overall body of work is bad. It's bad. So, all right, man. So that's all I got, man. I don't want to go super long, super verbose with this. But y'all hit the like button if you're not done so. Y'all can super chat if you want to. You can hit the HJ Streams for the Cash App if you really like what's going on. And to next time sports moves, I got you. So, with that being said,